Well, we did want to bring up another Tulsi Gabbard story. We haven't done them in a while. It's just been like Bernie crazy all the time. Like Bernie's doing this, Bernie's doing that. And we've always been looking for a good Tulsi story to cover. And we have one that is sadly like many of the previous ones that we've covered before. So CNN has decided that she just doesn't need to have a town hall. No reason. No, you don't. Go away. Shoo. Let's talk about that. So she was snubbed, and CNN announced Friday it was hosting a series of nationally televised town halls in New Hampshire just before the primary. Gabbard was just left off the list, like she's not a candidate. You know who was on that list that was allowed to participate? Amy Klobuchar, Andrew Yang, Tom Steyer, and Deval Patrick.
What?
The man who I'm still, when I was reading his name when I was highlighting this, I'm like, is that it? How do I pronounce it? Oh, right, it's Deval Patrick. That's right. Who's way behind everyone else. So, like, Gabbard's either, at the same level or doing better than, like, half the people I just mentioned.
He's so popular, he almost has 0.5%.
Yeah.
So popular.
I mean, like, CNN, that's a strong fourth place.
Yeah.
So, there you have it. So Gabbard hit, and they had their qualifying things, and she passed them. So over the weekend, she hit 5% in two polls conducted among likely Democratic voters, and in each poll, including one from CNN, one from NBC, she got to 6%, which is enough to do a town hall, as far as I'm aware. But she didn't get in. So what happened? So Tulsi comes back and says, this seems like a blatant attempt by the establishment media to silence our voices right when we're gaining strength and rig the primary, it's because it is. And then she goes on to say, CNN won't provide us with a reason why it refuses to give Tulsi, this is someone in her campaign, I should say, not her, give Tulsi the airtime, but here's a guess. They are making her pay for her vocal criticism of the Clinton war machine, the corporate media, and the DNC establishment elite. Now, this is the thing with Tulsi and what she does well, but what also in the current structure, because she isn't quite at the spot where like Bernie Sanders is, where if Bernie Sanders did like this kind of scorched earth policy with the DNC, they really couldn't do that much about it. They really would still have to do what they did, still have to give them town halls. They just view Tulsi as someone that they can just ignore. And the more they do, but here's the ironic part of this, that we've already talked about this in the show, and again, I think we have one of the most condensed and biggest faction of Tulsi and Bernie supporters of any news channel. Like when we do polls consistently of our audience, it's usually breaks down to like 60% of people, their first choice is Bernie, and 35%, their second choice is Tulsi. And then you can say, who's your second, and flip those. Well, about 35% of people say their first choice is Tulsi, and then 60% of them say their second choice is Bernie. So you kind of get what I'm saying, we've seen this audience, it's you guys watching this. And I got to say, from the establishment point of view, this could backfire because, so at this point, it seems like the breakouts happened. There could be stuff that happens, such as something happens to Bernie where then Tulsi becomes super relevant again very quickly. However, if that doesn't happen and Sanders keeps riding the momentum he has, if they steal Tulsi support and give it to Bernie, that just helps Bernie. So I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I wanted to add that actually Lightfoot met with Klobuchar, she met with Michael Bloomberg and Mayor Pete and Deval Patrick, someone who's not really polling nationally at all, but is an insider's insider. I think CNN playing this really indicates that they are just as inside with the Democratic Party as MSNBC. Not only that, but their politics are very petty, and they're opening themselves up precisely to internet media, having their own town halls and elevating candidates and policies away from their cable show, which would be great.
So, and I just want to say very quickly before I hand it over to Paul, I'm just going to be just take away all the stuff like the caring about people and we should have a fair election part of all this. Just pull that away for a second. Let me just kind of almost be like a mainstream media outlet for a second. I want to thank mainstream media for this. If you hadn't done and aren't continuing to do such a terrible job at what you do, we would have never been able to develop this company. I mean, honestly, the fact that people listen to us and trust us when we talk about issues far more than they do you. I mean, the only thing we really don't have at this point is numbers, but we're, about a year old. I don't expect, like, things are going really well. We're always talking about, it seems like things are growing. It's thanks to mainstream media throwing away their reputation after all these years. And every time that CNN just arbitrarily goes, oh, I don't need to, have a Democratic thing. I'm a corporation. Fuck off. We can fill in the void. And that's what we have to remember, that it's not just CNN. It's not just it's not just the debates. It's mainstream media's fault.
Yeah.
So there is a Twitter campaign I know that is going on to try and get Tulsi to be in this town hall. I think it's a hashtag Let Tulsi Speak, and I think it's good. I encourage people to get behind that. When it comes to town halls and widely publicized events like this, particularly the kind of events that will reach the type of audience that is not here on YouTube, the type of audience that is not looking online and doing research from multiple sources to find out who they support as a candidate. The kind of person that just turns on the debate because apparently that's the only thing they think that they need to do to learn what's happening in politics.
Sad.
They need to hear somebody who is going to repudiate the military-industrial complex and tell us that we should not be going into these wars, and tell us that we need to withdraw, and tell us very accurately that the United States is an empire, and we're doing this not for the humane reasons that we continue to purport to do them for, but we're doing it to expand our own hegemony. And Bernie Sanders, I think, really can be really good on foreign policy and can really champion those things, but that's not his number one priority, and that's not his stump speech, and that's not the thing that he's going to bring up. That is the thing that Tulsi will bring up. That is the thing that's in her stump speech. That's what she's campaigning on. And to have no one on the stage who will call out the military-industrial complex and the American empire for what it is a bit of a shame. And to slot Deval Patrick in there, well, it doesn't, it's the corporate news network. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just want to really quickly, before I hand it over to Jose, just add on that I'm looking forward to the really hard-hitting journalistic questions that will be at this town hall that they will ask Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders,
how are you going to pay for it?
How are you going to pay for it? Also, how long have you been hitting your wife for?
Yeah.
So anyway,
Oh my God.
go ahead.
It'll happen. Just wanted to say that, I think CNN worries a lot of Tulsi speaking of that primarily, but that no matter how they stack the audience, that she'll win them over, much the way that Bernie Sanders did with the Fox News town hall on Medicare for All. Fox News did what they could to frame a lot of what Bernie was saying with an audience that, that they wanted to create skepticism. It was hugely popular for Bernie Sanders. And I think that, to Tulsi's credit, I hope this hashtag takes off. I hope that she can call out CNN at this forum. But if she doesn't, she should consider Fox News. She should consider a different network, because those are issues that CNN is complicit in, always galvanizing towards the war machine.
She'll be smeared for it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're going to smear her anyway.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.